Good afternoon, traders. This is Tony D from the easyMarkets dealing room with an update today. We do have a special update in terms of what's happening with the BOJ and the dollar yen, much awaited and highly anticipated was going to be a tweak of some form. We ended up getting a tweak in the form of forward guidance starting from the BOJ, but what we did get is expansion of its ETF purchase program, continuation of the pledge to continue to target the low rates in the longer term yields. It did drop off the target though, and there was a little bit of a relief rally given that there was increases in QE in general, but that relief rally so far hasn't produced any extension. In fact, we're right back at the opening levels of 111 after going to new lows and then fresh highs on the day. A bit of a whipsaw. In general, though, much more positive than it could have been, and the yields dropping does make it a bit more of a case that the dollar yen is going to go higher over time, unless that changes. Now that we do have the press conference coming up, a bit more clarification will come out regarding both the announcements and the dissenters that there was in the meeting. There was a few dissenters there, so there's a little bit of food for both the bulls and the bears here. But in regards to the big fear of them changing and the yields going up and the 10-year, that didn't happen, so it looks like it's out of the woods for now. We'll take a little bit of a blunder in the press conference to disturb the dollar yen from here. And if anything survives that, the door is open for the relief rally in general now, given that markets were so worried and had been positioning negatively for the last couple of weeks, ever since the first sign that the tweak was coming from the BOJ was announced in mid-July. Now, in regards to the market last night and where we are standing in general, Euro had a great day. Those German CPI numbers came in a lot stronger this month, so a bit of a pickup in inflation. You've got the pound back above 130, not as high as the euro though. Didn't get as much gain from those US dollar weakness as the euro did. The Aussie dollar, while late to the party, has joined in the rally today and is moving back towards its resistance at 74.40. It's failed here multiple times, but its relentless nature, it's much more dangerous to be selling up here. It is to be buying down at 73.80, 73.50 level. The sellers are losing control a little bit, given that the lack of trade war news and just general the US dollar weakness and the feeling that the US dollar has topped out with those Trump comments a couple of weeks ago. Does open the door here to the market moving higher and testing that 75 level, where you might expect a little bit more resistance in the short term. But right now, strong building approvals and weak US dollar is opening the door to the market rallying here. It's also getting support from the Aussie yen and Aussie Kiwi crosses at the moment. Dollar CAD had some movement as well in Asia, so a lot of action in Asia. Usually you don't get movement in Asia, but you saw this spike higher from 130.20 to 131. Now that 80 pip move was on the back of a headline from the National Post suggesting that Canada has been rejected from joining talks the US is having on NAFTA with Mexico. Look, we're going to get some clarification regarding this probably in the next few hours when the Canadians and US do come online. But it is, on the face of it, negative, but could be misunderstood or overplayed in terms of the impact. I doubt they've been excluded from all NAFTA talks, perhaps just this one meeting with Mexico and the US. Regardless, though, the market did take it higher, hasn't had any follow through though either. Other than that, the Canadian dollar had been on a very strong path and had been grinding and tested that 130 levels on talk that NAFTA deals were going well. So it's just the NAFTA headlines that are causing a bit of stir now, but you do see a lot of, in general, support for the Canadian dollar with the rate hikes recently and the oil spiking high overnight. This is helping just general sentiment towards Canadian dollar. It's like a faster Aussie in some regards. Alright guys, we'll be back tomorrow with an update, see if anything happens in the press conference with the BOJ governor. I will definitely update you tomorrow regarding what has changed. Other than that, I do believe we've seen perhaps the low end on the dollar yen, so opens up the door for not just dollar yen but the yen crosses. We'll talk more about how they perform overnight in the update tomorrow. We are getting closer to the BOE coming up on Thursday, and next couple of sessions we'll be having previews of that as well.